let me tell you something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Will, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be.
Good morning, Atlanta Falcons fans. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, one and all, to the Terry and Carrie recap of the Falcons and 49ers game. Good morning, Miss Carrie. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, T-Will. I'm doing all right despite the circumstances. But yeah, how you doing?
I'm okay. Last night was tough, So many hopes, so many aspirations, so many good vibes. And it just it just didn't pay off. It was a tough one, but hey, we gotta soldier on, Miss Carrie. We got to continue to do what we're trying to do, and we got to ultimately, hey, right now it's on to back to the ATL and on to Miami. There were some positives last night, a lot of negatives, but again, this is a young team. This is a young quarterback. This is a young offensive coordinator. And today we are sharing, or we are discussing, what could have been. What could we have done better? What could we have done better? Right? What were the missed opportunities? What were the turning points? What if we had a do-over, what would we do differently? It's kind of, I guess we are literally, excuse the expression, Monday morning quarterbacking this, right? So right off, Miss Carrie, I know that, you and I and Chris and Jack and a few other podcasters, we're all in the same chat, and we were all talking last night. We're all talking last night about, just the game and what we could have done, and, various things that went right or wrong. From your vantage point, give me 3 things that we could have, maybe we could have done differently, that could have changed the outcome of that game.
Oh man, just 3?
Just 3.
I mean, T-Will, there. Honestly, a lot of things went wrong last night. But I'll just say one main thing for me. I feel like we were completely outcoached on both sides of the ball.
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It says you're loading. I'm sorry.
100%.
Yeah, I think we were
Yeah.
completely outcoached. I'm honestly not even gonna blame the defense for that performance
No,
at
no.
all. Divine Diablo is so big for this defense. He's a game changer. We were already missing Walker. I know it's next man up mentality. Injuries aren't an excuse, but the drop off from Diablo to JD is pretty big. And honestly, like CMC special, and I already mentioned this was going to be a concern for me with, Kittle being back. So Kittle, they run the ball so much better with Kittle being back. So it explains CMC having over 200 all-purpose yards from scrimmage.
Mhm.
So my thing is, like, I'm not mad at the defense. they still haven't allowed a passer to have over 200 yards. Um, and they only allowed 20 points, and your offense only scored 10. To me, this loss is on the offensive coordinator and the head coach. Um, and yeah, I know you wanted three things, but to me, like, ultimately, coaching lost this game. So
Agreed. Agreed. So let's talk about coaching, and specifically let's talk about depth, right? So let's look at the 49ers. They have been ravaged by industry. Excuse me. ravaged by injuries. Okay? Not industry. Tripping. Sorry. But they've been ravaged by it. Yet they are 5 and what are they? 5-2? They're 5-2 now. So they have continued their winning ways. So clearly their coaching is Carrie you back. Looks like I
yeah, I'm
got
here.
you on too. Okay. But clearly their coaching is such that they have a standard. Okay. It would appear they have a minimum standard. When, and I'm sorry to do this, but when Diablo went out of that game, the drop off was severe. It was severe. Okay.
Right. I
And
agree with you.
and look it, I'm not trying to rip JT Bertrand. That is not what I am doing. He plays the game. I don't. He is a football player. He has made it to the NFL, and I give him all due respect. However, with all due respect, the drop off between Diablo and JT Bertrand is night and day. It's not even close. I mean, it is not even close. There were times out there he looked lost. We got King Richie in the
And
chat. King
you
Richie
know,
says, Terry and Carrie, man, I ain't said a word today. I'm still pissed. Exactly, King
I'm
Richie.
with you, King Richie. Shout out to you. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
And to your point, T Will, it is true. And I think, obviously I do think Divine Diablo is a much better football player, than JD Bertrand, respectfully. And part of that too is that when is the last time JD really played a lot of snaps in a football game? So, he's a depth guy at linebacker right now. And to be honest, I don't want to spend too much time on that because I don't think, like I said, defense did not lose us that game. So yes, we were getting gashed through the middle. We really need a run stopper in the middle of that defensive line. Like, we don't have that. We don't have a big guy that can do that. And they found what worked. And shout out to Kyle Shanahan. He's a offensive genius. And yeah, I mean, why would you stop running the ball when you have a running back like CMC and they can't stop the run, which that was already a concern because I think we were ranked like 16 or 18th in the run defense. So, and then you don't have Walker and you lose Diablo. I mean, shout out to the coaching. They did what was working. They stuck with it. And but I don't want to blame the defense. So, they only allowed 20 points. They did not lose us that game.
No, they didn't. But what didn't help, and I'm sorry, I just gotta go here. There were times Bertrand was tripping over his own people. Okay. So, again, the 49ers, the guy, the linebacker for the 49ers was their third string linebacker last night, and he played great. Okay. He definitely didn't trip over his own people. He definitely did make our defense worse. And that, I guess my point is there should be a certain standard. Now, defensively, yes, Carrie, collectively, our defense played well. Look, we were in that game up to the fourth quarter. Okay.
Right.
And there's some turning points that we can talk about and some decisions that I necessarily would not have made. One of them is I would have kicked the field goal. And I think you and I talked about last night, but you're there. It's a 51-yarder. At a certain point, you have seen that we have had difficulty moving this ball against this defense. Why not go ahead and kick the field goal there? Right?
Okay, well, sure, that would be great, tie the game, kick the field goal. My thing is that's very telling, again, of the coaching staff. You don't trust your kicker to kick over 50 yards. And quite frankly, I don't fault like I mean, I really don't either. He's so up and down.
Yeah.
There's he's really inconsistent, honestly. So I don't fault them. An away game, not in a dome,
Yeah,
like, you
outside
know,
stadium.
and he's been so inconsistent, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
again, to me, that's coaching. Why is he even on the roster if you can't trust him to kick over 50? And
correct,
why
correct.
did we not? This always goes back to the same thing that I've been saying. Why are we having a kicking competition during the season? This should have all been addressed in the off season.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed 100%.
infuriating.
No, look it. I agree with everything you said, Carrie. Number one, this kicking situation should have been addressed in the offseason, period. And it shouldn't have been this mirage, this illusion of, oh, well, we got this kicker from Australia or wherever the hell he's from, and he's going
Germany,
to
but
compete, knowing it's not a competition, knowing he's not ready. You know what I mean? It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I agree. King Richie says, I'm not even mad at the defense. They still gave us 2 to 3 turnovers, but the offense is,
100%. And they
yeah,
didn't allow
agreed.
200 yards passing. I mean, and yeah, run defense wasn't great, but like I said, no Walker, no Diablo, and that was already our one weakness in my opinion. So I expected a big game, having Kittle back who helps their run game, having one of the best running backs in the league on their team. I expected that. They allowed 20 points. We did not lose the game because of defense. We
Yeah.
really need to talk about the offense and the coaching right now.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's
Yep. Jay Black says that was a tough game. Jay Black says, morning, T. Will and Carrie. Good morning, Jay Black.
Good
It's a
morning, Jay
tough one,
Black.
man. You're 100% correct. King Richie says, and the crazy part is Carolina won me 200, but the Falcons lost me 600. Oh, wow.
Well, that's
Oh,
filthy,
man,
Richie.
that's tough, King Richie. I am sorry to hear that, my friend. Final score, 49ers 20, Falcons 10. Falcons did compete, but the 49ers controlled the lines. And that's, at the end of the day, they controlled the line of scrimmage. They kicked our fannies on the offensive and defensive lines. And when you do that, it's tough to win. We got a total of 62 rushing yards.
Yeah, that's sick.
62 rushing yards. Just let that sink in. Just let
That's
that
sick.
sink in, right? 62 rushing yards. Not even 75. Not even 3/4 of 100. It's very difficult to win when your offense is predicated on running. It's difficult to win that.
My
So
thing
yeah.
is, I mean, Bijan had what, 14 carries the entire game. Tyler Algier had one carry the whole first half. It's
Mm-hmm.
like Zach Robinson sees that, maybe the run game isn't really, and then he just goes away from it. He shies away from it. He panics. Um, I just feel like they had a great game plan. Shout out to them again, coaching.
Mm-hmm.
They loaded the box. They figured out what to do. They know Bijan right now is our whole offense for the most part. So you stop Bijan, you can win this game and you can beat us. And they stopped Bijan and they dared us to beat them in the passing game, and we didn't do that. We didn't scheme up any deep shots for the most part. We saw maybe a couple, but again, that's Penix's game, and we're still not seeing enough of that, in my opinion, to take the pressure off the run game. To me, they're stacking the box. Why are we not seeing deep shots down the field?
Agreed. 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 I mean, look at you said it, and the protection wasn't great, but you got to take your shots where you can take them. And the sad part is we were in that game up until the fourth quarter. Like, we were in it. You know what I mean? We were in it. And the fact that we didn't kick that field goal, that hurts, because if he makes it there, it's a tie ball game. All right. So a couple of things that hurt us. Number one, not taking the field goal there. And, you could argue for, against. Again, you didn't want to take it because you didn't trust the kicker. I get it. I understand. But to your point, Carrie, why is he on the roster if you can't trust him with a 51 yard field goal? Why is he on the roster? You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
why are we here? So
I
we
stand by that.
that's got that, and as you should, but that's got to be worked out. King Richie says, and they gave them that illegal touchdown. They did, but honestly, King, had they not, San Francisco's just going to run the clock out there, and we lose any more time. I mean, what killed us in that series, and I'm going to go here now. This one is on the defense. Why would you not blitz them there? It's third in the game, right? Why would you sit back and rush 3 and drop those folks into coverage?
That was weird to me. When
That
we've been
Yes,
known to be a heavy blitzing team all season, and
yes.
I didn't get that, and that was one main thing that I was very frustrating on, defense. But again, like I don't expect a perfect game from them. So, okay, maybe I'll give them a pass on that, but I feel like there was many more glaring issues on offense, to be honest. So, if you, I don't know, you want to go over that.
No, I mean, I look at you got to blitz him there. You know what I mean? If he completes it, he completes it. But at least he hits your fastball. I'm being metaphorical here, and not your third worst pitch. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? If you blitz them and they just complete it, then ho hum, good for them. It's their day. Yes, Lord, it's
No,
their day.
to your point, T will, like Mac Jones this season when he's played, he struggled when he's been under pressure, and we needed to stop there. And yeah, we rushed 3. It made no
That's
sense to me either. Like,
Yeah, that because to me that's the game there,
oh,
right?
and then not just that, but there was
Mhm.
10 men on the field.
Yeah, before that. I mean, it got,
Can we
but
talk
again,
about that?
that's on coaching. That's
10
on
men
coaching.
on the field.
That's on coaching. Oh, on that play, that third down play was 10 men on the field.
Third
I did
and
not know that.
13, 10 men on the field.
Wow. What, are you serious? I did not know that.
You're
I
talking
did
about
not.
fourth quarter at the end of the game?
Yes.
10, yes, 10 men on the field during that play.
Wow.
We were down 3 points, third and 13, they convert, and it's 10 men on the field. And, Raheem in the press conference after the game said that's on him. That's absolutely embarrassing. And that is absolutely embarrassing. I agree.
It
And I
is.
do agree that's on him. That's coaching. How do you have, first they had 12 players on the field, like
Right.
I think 2 plays before that. And then now you have 10 players on the field on the
Yeah.
most critical drive.
Yeah.
Like, critical play of the game, and there's 10 players on defense.
Yeah. That means you weren't ready. That means you weren't prepared for
Call a
that scenario.
timeout. Call a timeout. And
Yeah.
again, that's
Well,
coaching. If you like, I don't know, did you just not notice there was 10 players on the field, or I don't
he could.
understand.
I
Like
mean,
you're staring
evidently
at the
he didn't.
jumbotron,
I
like
don't know. I don't know I don't know who's responsible for that. I would
oh,
imagine you
the
got guys for
coach
that.
for sure.
No. I know, but I'm saying I would imagine you have guys that all they do is they just count folks on the field, right? I would imagine that you have guys for that, and clearly, whatever happened, we failed to notice it. I didn't even realize there was 10 guys, but it makes sense as to why that pass was so easy to complete. Wow. Yeah. And you know what's sad, Carrie? You know what's sad is that we had this great game against the Bills. We go into San Francisco against this depleted San Francisco team on prime time, and we do that. And this is why we have a hard time getting respect as a franchise, because when the moment is there, we are inconsistent at seizing it. And at some point, you got to do it, man. You got to do it. If it's there, you got to take it. That game was there. You're going up against a depleted San Francisco lineup. Like, what that says to me is if we'd have taken them on full strength, this game wouldn't have been close.
At all. I mean, they're missing their 2 best players on defense. We should have completely dominated that game. Honestly, like I dare you to name me a defensive player on the 49ers that started last night, not name Michael Williams.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
dare
But
you, T will. Like,
what it says is that Robert Saleh is, again, we got out coach. Robert Saleh is a
oh,
great,
100%.
superb defensive mind. And he crafted a defense that was hey, it was a special recipe just for us, and it worked, and we couldn't get past it. And that was my concern, is that I get you. Okay, somebody shuts you down in the first half, but you should be able to go in at halftime and craft something to address it. And I just did not see those adjustments bearing any fruit, so to speak. Jay Black says T. Will running is our strength, but we should not lose because the opponent's defense is good at stopping the run. No, we should not.
No,
And I agree.
and
But
yeah,
but
I agree too.
to
But
Carrie's point, if you're going to come up and stack the box, 8 in the box, then you got to be able to go deep. You got to be able to make them pay. You got to be able to complete those passes deep. And we just, for whatever reason, either didn't or couldn't get that done. King Richie says we got a speed demon. We got to get a speed demon at receiver.
I
Jay Black
agree.
says,
But
yeah. No, I
to
agree 100%. Go ahead. Go ahead, Carrie.
no, yeah, I mean, we definitely need a speedy guy. We need a man beater, honestly. We don't have like a man coverage separator, in my opinion, really. At
Did
receiver that
how
could be
did
a deep threat. Like,
how did Mooney look to you last night, Carrie?
I mean,
He
for
looked okay.
yeah, I feel like
He didn't
first
look
game,
Mooney like, but he
right?
looked
For
okay.
yeah, I'm not gonna complain about Mooney. But
No, he looked okay. He
yeah, he
looked
looked
okay.
okay. But in my opinion, like respectfully, we got a big season out of him last year. I don't know if that was eye killer because we did the same thing with Mooney. They both had career years last season, but I don't know. I feel like Mooney, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but I feel like he's a wide receiver 3. Like we
See,
need a true number 2.
I feel like Mooney's hurt.
I
The
mean,
difference
yeah, he's
between Mooney and Ray, Mooney never had it. Mooney, I'm trying to be respectful. Mooney really did not have the greatest of quarterbacks to throw to him prior to last year. Okay, so that can be explained. Now, Ray, that's a totally different scenario. But I feel like Mooney has it can be a number 2 receiver. Look at Mooney in 2024 and 2023 was the most wide open receiver. You know, the problem is he didn't have quarterbacks to get it to him. Well, in 2023 he didn't. 2024 he was still, I think, the most wide open receiver. I think he's still hurt, Carrie. I think he's hurt. I think he's been out. I think he's trying to get into the flow of things. I don't know what's going on, but I think he's a number 2 receiver. Now, with that being said, I agree with you. We need a number 2 receiver because
yeah.
for whatever reason, we couldn't get it to Kyle. I mean, we got it to Kyle some. I
Oh
think
my goodness. You bring
Kyle
up
had
Kyle.
62 yards.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
T. Will.
Go ahead.
You bring up Kyle, and I'm so glad you bring him up because that should have been the Kyle Pitts game. And it really wasn't to his fault,
No, it
honestly.
wasn't.
Like, he was probably our best player on offense if you really think about
He
it.
was.
7 receptions for 62 yards, I believe.
Yep.
I don't know if that's exact, but it's off my top of my head. I mean, and I think he had 9 targets, like, which that's probably his most targets this season. I feel like normally he's
Mm-hmm.
getting 4 or 5 targets a game, but
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like he should have been. I feel like we got away from targeting him when he was beating that small safety the whole game. He should
Mm-hmm.
be a complete. He was a complete mismatch, and he should be a complete mismatch. Um, and for most DBs, and I don't understand like the screen passes to Kyle Pitts was really upsetting to me. Like that is not his game.
Right.
He's a vertical threat. Why are we continuing to do these screen passes to Kyle Pitts?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
coaching. I don't get that. That it wasn't working. I don't understand why we're trying to make that a thing when it shouldn't be a thing. Um what is your thoughts on that? Because I just feel like that was really upsetting to me. The screen passes to Kyle. I feel like he's a vertical threat. We should get him downfield, let him beat his man, and we weren't doing that as well.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I never see a screen to Kyle like that again, I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like because as soon as we did it, I'm like, oh my god,
Hit him
oh
in stride, like,
right,
the deep I mean, you don't really have a man beater, but to get down the field right now as a wide receiver too, if Mooney's hurt, whatever the excuse is, but I just feel like at least Kyle is he's great in man coverage, like, he can beat his guy. I don't understand why we're not trying to hit him in stride. That should be
yeah,
an easy first down every time,
yeah,
and he was our best player, and I just feel like we weren't like, coaching wasn't playing to its strength.
hmm
You saw the run game wasn't working, but every time you targeted Kyle, you were getting a first down, and I don't know. That is very upsetting for me, but you call screen passes that's just not working. Like, what? That was so frustrating.
yeah. So what the Falcons could have done differently? Establish the run early. Look at man, you can't get away from the run. And you gotta, some penalties hurt us, but you got to be able to run that ball. And even if you got to stick six, offensive linemen in there, then that's just what you got to do. But you got to be able to run that ball. You have to be able to run the ball. Protect the quarterback and win in the trenches. We did
We did
not.
not win.
They destroyed us, especially on that
What
last year.
happened? I mean,
Well,
I just
on that last series when they knew we had to pass. Well, I tell you what happened, and my brother was talking about this in the chat that I was in last night. In a lot of those series in the second half, we were sending everybody on goes, and you can't do that because guess what? It takes time for you to send everybody downfield. Somebody's got to be a drag across the middle, or a slant, or a 10 and out, or a
he will.
in
Did we
cut.
Did
Go
we
ahead.
have, two ineligible man down the field penalties?
I think we did, but
With
but
2 off
those are you see a lot of those on RPOs, right?
No,
So
that was
so if
crazy. I'm sorry. What is the offensive lineman 2 times doing way down the field? I
well
don't
he's blocking, right? So on an RPO it's a run pass option, and if they choose to pass, then that's going to happen a lot of times because the lineman isn't going to know it. He's assuming you're running the ball. He doesn't know, and he's too far downfield. And that's that. I think I know in one of the cases that's what happened. I'm thinking in both cases that's what happened. And it's just kind of one of those things you got to live with it. Everybody who runs a RPO or a certain percentage of RPOs, that's just going to happen.
I don't
Unfortunately,
know.
should it
I
happen?
can't tell you the
No.
last time I saw 2 offensive linemen get, ineligible man down the field penalties in the same game. I respectfully, I can't tell you that. So, I don't know. You could be right, but you could also be wrong. It's like, I 2 of them in the same game, like, that's crazy to me,
That's
but
tough, huh?
that
That
yeah,
that is tough.
but my thing is, yeah, we didn't win in the trenches, and we won in the trenches against the Bills, and unfortunately, you got to win in the trenches to win a football game. And I feel like yeah, maybe Penix had some throws that he'd like to get back, and that throw, like, that killed us we're heading into halftime. But honestly, I don't even think that should have been the play. But regardless, yeah, he'd like to have that one back, I'm sure. But my thing is like, um, it's not like, yeah, he'd like to have some throws back, but I just feel
Mhm.
like it felt as if our offensive line was getting bullied most of the game. I saw him like
That's because
having to
they were
run.
getting bullied.
Yeah,
That's
I
that's
mean,
because they were getting bullied.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
felt like, sheesh, like he was just running for his life, like constantly. And to that point, you know, he was panicking under pressure, unfortunately, and maybe that's a rookie thing. He'll get better as time goes on, you know? It's only his ninth start, but yeah, he was definitely panicking. Anytime he got pressured, I think he was 1 for 9 under pressure and 2 sacks. So, I do think he can improve on that, but I also think that the offensive line was getting bullied out there.
And that's because they work here, no doubt about it. King Richie says the defense been saving us. I can take one bad game, but the offense hasn't done. You know what? Shaking my head. Jay Black says, King Richie, I think so. Wide receiver trade for Jacoby might be a good idea right now. I can't disagree with that. Jay Black says, we had a problem getting people on the field this game for the defense. Yeah, we did. And getting them off as well. Jay Black says, hit the like button. Thank you, Jay Black. Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Jay Black.
Jay Black, this was a matchup between Saleh and Ulbrich. Yes, it was. Well, it was Vader against Luke Skywalker. And in this iteration, Vader won. You know, just bottom line, Luke, I am your. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. That's a Star Wars reference, Carrie.
No.
You can take.
I know. I'm just quiet because I'm like, man, Zach Robinson is Luke Skywalker.
No. I'm talking about Ulbrich.
Oh, okay.
You know, Ulbrich, because you know he worked for Saleh.
Right.
So you know, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Luke. You know, just saying. Okay, it missed. I get it.
No, it's
King Richie said you can't take deep shots when you don't have a man beater. Good point. It's a good point. Where you really saw this, right? So let's talk about turning points, Carrie. For me, one major turning point is when Diablo came out of the game. Because you could see you could just see the difference. You could see the difference. And not that they weren't running the ball before he went out, but they most assuredly ran it when he did go out. And it put us in a situation where Caden Ellis had to cover. And look, Caden Ellis is a great linebacker, but he is better suited to rush. And you couldn't do that as much because somebody's got to cover, right? And that for me was a turning point. That third down play where you don't kick the field goal, that's a major turning point. And the coup de grace for me was that third down play deep in our territory when it's really for the game. And you say, not only do you have 10 people, but you don't rush anybody. So, you know, again, you could say we beat ourselves, right?
And yes, and to your point, T. Will, like that's what's frustrating for me because I can accept a loss where we just get outplayed and outcoached, sure, but like, and I do believe we were outcoached. But my thing is like, we got to stop beating ourselves, man. Like, I feel like that's the issue. Offense has been terrible on the road, and that's a concern for me. That's a major concern for me because it's like we can only perform at home. We're very inconsistent. I don't get that. That's a concern. And we've scored, by the way, only 13 points in the last 6 quarters of football. That is unacceptable.
Scary.
That's unacceptable.
That's
13 points in 6 quarters.
That's
1.5 games. Like we're what? I think now after last night's game, we're 28th in the league in scoring offense. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, it's.
You're not going to win football games being 28th in the league and scoring offense. I mean, it's a red zone. We're still having, and this is what I was saying in the offseason, like red zone efficiency. It has to improve because we had that same issue last season. We were settling for too many field goals. And now we're settling for field goals. We don't even have a kicker we could trust. Like that's an issue. That is an issue. I'm not even joking. I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. Don't cry, but I mean it's an issue. Like
that's funny.
I'm trying to find the exact ranking, so give me a second. But
it's all good.
I believe
just give me a sec. Just wait, Carrie. What happened? Carrie, you dropped her. Oh man. Well, Carrie will come back. I hope she. Hey, I didn't kick her out. Carrie, what happened? Oh, yep, she's back. You needed a moment, Carrie? You there?
No, Zach Robinson kicked me off.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? So Jay Black says, it was funny, T. Will, because that is what I meant. Laugh out loud. Jay Black, did we just become best friends? Get out of
what did he mean? Wait, I missed it.
With the whole Luke Skywalker,
oh, okay.
He would, that's, you know, I think Jay Black and I are similar in age, but that's where he was going. So it's funny that I just called that out because, wow, Jay Black. Wow. I think we just became. I think we just became good buddies, Jay Black. Wow. Okay, I could dig that. Oh my God, my wife's perfume smells great. Kim. Oh, she must have left. God, she smells good. Oh
Shout out to Miss
my God,
Kim.
she smells so good. Oh, Kim, you there? Damn, that smells good. I'm sorry. I know that's incredibly unprofessional, but damn, that smells good. All right. Woo! Boy. That woman. Okay.
Okay,
What the hell
sorry,
are we
T. Will.
talking
I
about?
did find the tweet. The Falcons fell from first to second in total defense.
Yep.
Still okay. And from second to seventh in total offense after last night's game. They're now
Yeah.
28th in scoring offense. I believe they were 26 before. Now they're 28th.
We
And
got to figure that out.
with the
We
offensive talent we have, like not being able to score touchdowns to me is unacceptable.
Well, that comes down to scheme. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of bend don't break defenses. So a lot of defenses will give you from 20 to 20. From your 20 to their 20. Hey, not that they'll give that to you, but they really buckle down inside the 20. And so what that says is basically, when you get inside the 20, that separates the men from the boys, right? Can you close? Can you finish? Can you close the deal? Right? Carrie, ABC, always be closing. Always be closing. Have you heard of that movie, Carrie?
Yes, but unfortunately, we haven't proven that we can do that.
Always be closing, damn it. Jay Black says, great point, T. Will. We need to trade for a linebacker. We need another linebacker by trade or draft in the offseason. Jay Black says, this is the first away opponent to stop our run game that exposes our underdeveloped pass game. Yeah, honestly,
I mean,
we have to be better about that.
to
We
be
can move the
honest,
ball on anybody, but we gotta score, man. We gotta
I mean,
score. Bottom line.
to Jay Black's point, actually, if I remember correctly, the Bucks game, they figured out how to stop our run game, right? I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like that was a passing game because we couldn't get the run game going.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but
Yeah. No, exactly. We got Mike in the building. Mike says,
hey, Mike.
"Shouty!" What up, Mike? We got Smooth C in the building. Smooth C says, sup, T. Will and Carrie. Sup, Smooth C. Jay Black says, at the end of the first half, our offense lit up the 49ers defense. Salah's face looked pained when we hit those deep balls. Laugh out loud. William Amy in the chat. We ain't going anywhere this year. And we 3 in the division teams, always game plan on us.
Yeah, unfortunately, William Amy, like, it's not looking good right now. I think the Panthers, after last night's game, have better odds to make the playoffs than we do. And now we're third in the division, unfortunately. We do have a game at hand, and
We,
T
we,
Will's gonna tell me it's okay, but
well, no, I'm not saying it's okay, but again, it is still a very young season, right?
right, but
And there's and look it, so much can happen in the entire time frame of a season. People
true.
grow up, people learn. I'm not saying this was not bad. This was very bad. This was a bad loss. This was an embarrassing loss. I'm not taking away from that.
Yeah.
However, injuries are going to happen. We're going to get people back. We're going to hopefully
Right now,
learn.
T Will, we're losing people though, and we already
I
had
know,
our
but
bye week.
it's a part of it, right? But the good news is there's still tradable pieces out there. There's still pieces you can still go and get. Look, I think you got to go and get a linebacker. I think trade deadline, your objectives are receiver and linebacker, and they are 1 and 1A. Okay, that's how I feel about it. Will we do that? Don't know. Hope so, but we still got time, Carrie. It's not like this is week 13, right?
Right.
Our fate is not sealed. We have time.
Our fate is not sealed, but on the other side of the coin, we're now 3-3, which this was a tough start to our schedule. We're gonna now hit the soft spot, but my thing is, Divine Diablo left the game last night in a sling.
Yep, he did.
He most likely is gonna be missing time.
Yep.
That's gonna be huge for our run defense. And again, I honestly, even though he would be such a huge loss, Walker should be back next week, and I still believe in Jeff Ulbrich and the defense. Um, even after Divine Diablo, yeah, they gashed us in the run game, but I still feel like we should have won that game. They only allowed 20 points.
Question for you,
Yeah,
Carrie. Didn't Walker play linebacker at Georgia?
yeah,
Didn't he play something? So maybe you throw him in there.
right.
Maybe you throw
No,
him
and
in
that's
there.
why I'm not that worried. I
Yeah.
mean, as far as I know, I think Walker should be coming back next week. So I
Hmm.
actually feel okay, even though losing Divine Diablo is a huge loss. I don't want to discount that,
Oh,
but I
no doubt
just feel
about it.
like,
No
yeah,
doubt about it.
but I
No doubt
just feel
about it.
like Ulbrich I feel has done an excellent job with this defense this season.
He
I
has.
mean, the pass rush, I think we're at what, 16 sacks now? We
Yeah.
now have half of what we had in an entire season last year. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's turned this defense around. I mean, we're now number 2 defense overall. So, I still have faith that even without Diablo, he'll make things work. And that again, that's like last night's game. That's coaching. Like Salah, that's coaching.
Mhm.
That 49ers defense is completely depleted. Like I said earlier, can you name any players? They're missing their 2 best players. Um and Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. And it's like they have so much young talent on their defense. It was all
Mhm.
young players, and we couldn't score more than 10 points against them on a
Right.
decimated defense. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, that's very um unacceptable and really disappointing. And to your point, yeah, the season's early and things can turn around, but my thing is, my counter to that is we're very inconsistent,
We are.
and the thing about it for me is that what has the coaching shown you to make you feel like they could turn it around? It's just so inconsistent. It's like they don't have the team prepared on the road. For example, I say that because you get this huge win on the road against Minnesota. They were, loving life because they won in prime time. And
Mhm.
then you come to Carolina and you get completely embarrassed, 30 to
Mhm.
0. And
Mhm.
Bijan even came out and said, "Yeah, we overlooked them." He kind of ratted them out, which we already
Mhm.
kind of knew that, but
Mhm.
he put the exclamation point on it. And to me, that's coaching. You didn't have your guys prepared. And then
It is coaching. Not to cut you off, it is coaching. But this is a young team. Okay. Let's be honest. The 49ers have been through the wars. They've been to 2 or 3 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. They have been through the wars. They haven't won a Super Bowl, but they have experienced a modicum of success. So even though they are depleted, there's a standard that they've established. There's a culture that they have that we are trying to get to. And again, I'm not discounting your point. It's bad. Okay, it's
right,
bad. We've played bad.
but I
But what
just
I'm
don't
saying
know.
is
Sorry, you go ahead.
that's okay. What I'm saying is other guys get paid too. Like this is a good team. I think my
There's
takeaway
good
from
talent. I don't know. We haven't proven that we
I'm
we
talking about
are a
the
good team.
49ers. I'm talking
Oh,
about the
okay,
49ers.
okay.
I'm talking about the 49ers. 49ers are a good team with good coaches who have been through the wars. Kyle's been to 3 Super Bowls, right? One as a coordinator, 2 as a head coach. He's been to at least 4 or 5 NFC
And still
championships.
hasn't won
He
one.
he hasn't, right? And I'm not singing his praises. I am, but I'm not. But what I'm saying is Kyle is an excellent coach. Robert Saleh is one of the best defensive minds in the game right now. So it's not like we were taking, even though they may not have their stars, they have players.
Right.
They have a system that they've established, and they have talent.
And
If
what I'll
that,
say to that is
mhm,
we have the talent. Do we have the coaching? And can good talent win in spite of bad coaching? Because I know that
that is
you don't
a
have the talent,
good
but
question.
you have good coaching. Good coaching can coach up players that are depth pieces or backups
Well,
and aren't used to
let
starting. We
me
saw that
stop you
last
there.
night, right?
Let
We
me
saw
stop
that
you
last
there.
night.
Good coaching can coach up players that are back up with talent. Good coaching can coach up players that can follow. Good coaching can coach up players that have a certain ability. But just because you pour syrup on feces doesn't make it anything more than sweet fecal matter. And you can insert whatever you want there.
Oh,
But
wow,
the
zero.
bottom line is, yes, you did see a difference. What I'm saying, Carrie, is they have a system as far as what they draft. They have a system as how they run it. If you know anything about Kyle Shanahan is probably one of the most anal retentive people on the planet, but that's why he wins, because when he explains, and he's a great teacher, but when he explains his offense, he's like, no, this has to be at 5 yards, not 4, not 6, right here. This has to be a 10, not 11, not. He's very detailed. He's very granular in his approach. And you see that when it matters. You see that, right? Saleh is an excellent defensive mind. So we got outcoached, no doubt about it. We got outcoached, okay? But I feel like, and again, I could be wrong, I feel like as this season goes on, Zach is going to learn, right? Zach, I mean, again, what I'm saying is Robert Saleh is nothing to sneeze at. He is a
Right. And
great
and
defensive
to your
coordinator.
point, yeah, I think we went against arguably the best OC and DC duo in the league.
Yes,
So
that's
I'm
where I'm
not
going.
trying to say that like our DC and OC had a chance. They both lost the matchup clearly, but my thing is, when have we had a game this season where you said, "Wow, Raheem outcoached them,
That's
the
a good point.
opposition."
That's
My thing is,
that's
I
a good
feel like
point.
we have so much talent on this team, but can the talent win in spite of maybe bad coaching? And I'm not just talking about the Niners game. I'm talking about
Yeah,
just any game, like where we've
yeah,
had questionable play calling.
yeah.
Um, I feel like Zach Robinson is essentially a rookie play caller still, and we have a rookie quarterback. Yeah,
That's
Penix
true.
wasn't perfect last night, but
That's
he was
true.
developing him, and I just feel like we should have went, and this goes back to last season. Raheem brought in an inexperienced DC and inexperienced OC. Why do that? You should have brought in at least one of them with experience in your second head coaching stint when you don't get that. It's so rare to get a second shot at that. And went with two, of your friends,
Hmm.
instead of going with maybe one with experience. And look, you went with one experience this year. You learned your lesson, and Olbrick is killing it. He's turned
Yeah.
this defense around. But my thing is like, if things don't change quick and this team doesn't start getting consistent, Raheem will be out the door too because of Zach Robinson's play calling,
I agree
unfortunately.
with you. I agree with you 100%, Carrie. I look it. I'm and I'm not defending Raheem's choices. In no way am I doing that. I agree with you 100%. Probably, other than the timeout. Well, no, there's a list of decisions that could have and should have been different. But number one for me was the initial choice to bring in two rookie coordinators last year that were your buds. Now I'm gonna tell you probably what he was thinking, and you guys are probably thinking, well, how do you know, T Will? Like, are you a Jedi Knight? I'm going back to Jay Black's thing. It's gonna be a whole thing for the show, Jay Black. Are you a Jedi Knight? Can you read minds? Is that no? I'm gonna tell you what I think he was thinking. I think he's thinking, if I start with two rookie coaches, there will be a certain amount of fealty that they have to me, and their development is probably going to be 2 to 3 years before they really hit their ultimate output, and we can probably win a lot of games, maybe even win a championship before somebody comes a knocking and they go get hired by somebody else because I had them as rookies. That's
Right.
probably what he's thinking. But the problem with Raheem, and I love Raheem,
I'm
I
glad you
love
do.
Raheem. I do. But the problem with him is
Good you do.
he's got that I'm the smartest guy in the room syndrome. He really does. So he will go and make decisions and think them out. It's not like these decisions are not thought out. Okay? I'm telling you, there was a lot of thought put into that because he's probably thinking, well, if I go and hire this guy in a year and a half or 2 years, he's gone anyway. Then I got to start all over again. Why not forego that? What if I could hire this guy that's never coached offense before and we can get 3 or 4 years out of him? I'll do that, right? Same thing with the timeout last year with Washington. He's thinking in that moment, I have a rookie quarterback at the helm. If I call timeout here, this is Dan Quinn we're facing. He's going to come up with the blitz that my quarterback has not seen. We cannot take a sack here, right? We cannot take a sack here. So I'm not going to call a timeout. I'm going to roll the dice and see if we can't get a completion and kick the field goal. Now, again, everybody on earth, not named Raheem, would have called the timeout there.
Literally. Everybody was screaming for it.
My dog Misha, who's been dead for years, would have Archie would have called a timeout there. Okay, everybody on earth, not named Raheem, would have called a timeout there. But what I'm saying is, Raheem really does have this. I'm the smartest guy in the room, kind of a little, right? A little. I still like him. I think he has the potential to be a very good coach. I do. I like Raheem a lot. And I'm not going to apologize for that. But at the end of the day, this is a results-driven business. And to your point, Carrie, if Raheem does not deliver this year, he's gone because there's no excuse. This is the roster that we have. And you cannot have things like 12 guys on the field or 10 guys on the field in a situation like that is unexcused. It's the same thing as getting 2 penalties after timeout. It's a fireable offense.
And that's my thing. It's like,
you can't do that.
What is the coach? Like, I just feel like almost every game there's like actually shocking calls at things that happen. Like 10 men on the field on 3rd and 13 in critical play. How is there 10 men on the field? And just to your point, like having to call a timeout after taking a delay of game. Like just these things. It's like coaching matters, and
it does.
I don't know, man. I always want our Falcons to win, and I believe it's just frustrating for me because I believe we have the talent to win.
It is.
But I feel like we can't get out of our own way. And to be honest, I don't know, like, we're 6 games in, 11 to go. Is coaching going to turn this thing around? Or to your point earlier, is Raheem too, like, arrogant, or he thinks he's too smart, the smartest man in the room? Is he going to change his ways? I don't know.
Well, he's shown a propensity to do that, right? So, again, if now you could argue we should have had a new kicker anyway, but game 1, Koo's out of here. Okay.
But to your point though, T. Will, I know where you're going with this. Is this really Raheem, or we don't know? Is this someone above his? We don't know though. It could be somebody above his head saying, Like, it could be Terry, it could be Arthur Blank saying, like, this is playoffs or bust. Like, we're moving on from Koo. You told me this offseason there was a kicking competition between him and Lenny Craig. Mm-hmm. And now Koo comes out here game 1 and misses a critical field goal to put us into overtime against the division rival, who, by the way, has won the division 4 times in a row. Mm-hmm. Like, for all we know, that could have been above his head because, by the way, just a week or 2 before that, Raheem Morris was saying, oh, yeah, Koo has an emotional bank with me. So I truly, I mean, to go against you there, I don't know that it was Raheem. I feel like
we don't know that it wasn't.
Yeah.
We don't know that it wasn't, Carrie.
We don't know.
We don't know that it was.
It could have been him, but from past history, I don't think it was him. I think, I mean, things that he's done or said, I feel like they might have said, hey, man, this season it's playoffs or bust.
You're like, guilty, Raheem, guilty.
I mean, think about it. You told us that there was a kicking competition between him and Lenny Craig, and then he comes out looking like this game 1. After already looking bad last season, like, it's just, like, I feel like they could have been like, no, like, we got to move on. Like, the seats are hot, right? Like, we can't just let him play it out. Like, I feel like, I truly feel like that's what Raheem wanted to do, because he has said that Koo had an emotional bank with him, and Koo has won us so many games in the past. After he just lost us the game, I feel like he wanted to let Koo play out the season and like have a comeback season. I really do.
Yeah, and look, I'm not saying you're wrong. We don't know. We got to get to some housekeeping. We got Christy Lewis in the chat, Miss Christy from AFN, the lovely ladies of AFN, joining us, our resident in Mississippi. What's going on, Miss Christy?
Hi,
And my
Christy.
crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. How are you, my favorite ATL Mississippi fan? I hope you're doing all right, Miss Christy. Miss Christie says rise up. She also says by third quarter, I knew how it would end. I was just numb. I will not stop getting the get a new OC train for the I will not stop getting on the get a new OC train for next season. Christy says Carrie is right. We have yet to say Bay. Raheem, he can coach. Okay. We got to give Craig some love in here. We got Craig in the chat this morning.
Shout out to Craig.
Says, what up, Craig? Craig says, fire both of Raheem and Zach. Craig is over it. And y'all know how Craig is. I'm surprised
waiting for
that long to say that. I'm like,
waiting for Craig to change his name on here to the hashtag again.
You know what? So, Carrie, something weird is going on with my StreamYard because he may have changed it, but it's only showing like the it's only showing the handles. It's not showing that. So I got to go back and argue with YouTube or StreamYard or somebody. I don't know if it's an
let us
option
know, Craig, if you changed it back, but he changes it a lot.
He does. And he probably did change it.
I think after the win last week, the huge upset on Monday Night Football, he changed it back to just his name. But yeah, he probably wants to change it back with the hashtag.
Yeah, and he probably did. Knowing Craig, he probably did. We just unfortunately can't see it because of freaking StreamYard. Jay Black says, T-Will, I'm going to burst out Star Wars. I'm going to burst our Star Wars alliance. I'm a Mace Windu disciple. Laugh out loud, purple or yellow lightsaber for me. Hey, man, I'm down with Mace Windu. It's all good, man. It's all. Carrie's like, oh, my God, the nerd talk this morning. Jesus. Craig says, Raheem also lied to us this past offseason about the kicking competition, but really didn't have one until after the season started. You are correct. Let's get back to what went wrong. Obviously, we couldn't convert on third and fourth downs. And Carrie, you shared something with me. I think it may have been us in the chat this morning. And that was the 49ers cornerback who made that play on fourth down, who read the play and said, whenever they're in this alignment or whenever it's in this scenario, there's always an out route. And he called that out. And again, that goes back to predictability and play calling. And you just can't have that. You have to vary your looks. And that's an issue. That's a Zach Robinson issue. Okay? Because he, you know what I mean? I wish we could share it here, but I'm not sure how that works as far as the copyright strikes.
I can share his quote. He said, when I see Drake London motion over, I'm like, oh, wow, they're really about to run this on 4th and 1. I'm just mad that I missed the opportunity to pick it off. And it was almost picked off. It went through Drake's hands. Yeah. That's embarrassing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
When the opposition, when the player on the opposing team says, oh, wow, they're really about to run this on 4th and 1, because to that point, what are we doing, man? On 4th and 1, that's the play. I'm sorry. Like,
you gotta vary your looks, but
shotgun on 4th and 1 and Bijan Robinson, your best player on your team, is not on the field. I'm sorry. That's inexcusable.
No, yeah. I'm with you in line, Steph, Carrie.
4th and 1. You need 1 yard. And Bijan Robinson is on the sidelines.
But you also said something else that I thought was interesting. Because Jordan, my friend Jordan and I, by the way, Jordan and I do movies on Saturdays for my ATL movies. Shameless plug. But Jordan is also a sports podcaster. And we have often had this discussion. And he says that in 2017, the Eagles won the Super Bowl in spite of having a terrible play caller in their head coach. So it can happen. Now, I think the head coach deferred his duties to somebody else. Or I don't know what happened. It can happen. I don't know that that happens all the time. But so much of this is timing, right? So much of anything in life is timing. Let me ask everyone in the chat a question, and it is a serious question. If you had this version of the Falcons defense with the 2016 Falcons offense, you guys think we would have won the Super Bowl? 100%. I'll go ahead and answer it for you. There's no doubt in my mind we would have beat the Patriots probably 42-3. It wouldn't have even been close, right? But so much of it is timing. So in this case, you drafted great, right? You got a great defense. You finally signed a great defensive coordinator, but your offensive coordinator is essentially a rookie.
We ain't never got two things that match.
Ham no burger. Carrie, that is perfect.
I
That
swear
is
they were talking
perfect,
about
Carrie.
the
I love
Falcons.
it. I love it. I love
I
it,
swear they
Carrie.
were talking about the Falcons there, but I'm just
Carrie,
saying.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I want you to know, Carrie, I'm going to spotlight that later. I'm going to release that as a short because that was perfect. That was, you summed that up perfect. Yep. Milk, no cereal. Ham, no burger. What was the other one? He did 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
What was the other one? Ham, no burger. Milk, no cereal. It was one of them because it started because he had Kool-Aid and no sugar, right? Or something like that. But golly, Carrie, that was perfect. That was perfect. We have a franchise quarterback, but again,
peanut butter no jelly. That's the
right.
third one.
Peanut butter,
Peanut
no
butter no
jelly. Exactly.
So true, though.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
So much of it
that's
is
what it
timing.
is. Last
Yeah.
season we had a really good offense, no defense, because Jimmy
Yeah.
Lake. Again, who hired Jimmy Lake? Then this season, now that Jimmy Lake can't be, I mean, not that he was a scapegoat, because he definitely was the major issue, but he was hiding that Zach Robinson was an issue last season. But I feel like Kirk Cousins, being the veteran he is, can call audibles and kind of, being a 10-year plus veteran, he can hide a lot of those, rookie play calling mistakes. I
Yeah.
feel like now that Jimmy Lake is not there to, how bad the defense was is not like being magnified. Now we see that the offense is an issue, which it was last season too. Outside of October and outside of Kirk being hurt, we still had red zone woes. The same issue we're having right now with 28th in the league and scoring offense with this
Mm-hmm.
talent on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Unacceptable. But I feel like uh Zach Robinson was an issue last season, but it was, not the most concerning issue, but it's still an issue this season. And I don't know that he's shown much growth since last season, but please tell me if you think he has. Have you
Hey,
seen
I
much
got
growth
you
from him?
Dixon Way. I got you Dixon Way. Give me a sec. I got you. I
Hey
got you.
Larry, how you doing?
We got Carlo in the chat. What up, Carlo? How y'all
Hi
doing? I
Carlo,
got,
hope you're doing well.
all
Good
our
to see
family
you.
in here this morning, Carrie, or a
Yes,
lot of them.
I love to see it.
A lot of our family in the chat this morning. Carlo, how goes it, man? What up, bro? Give me a sec, Larry. I'm old. I
Please
can't see.
spotlight Larry's comment as well. The one at 11:11. That's a great question he has there.
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead, Carrie. You can read it.
So shout out to the Dixon Way, you guys. If you don't catch Larry, go subscribe to his channel. He does watch alongs for all Atlanta sports teams, to include his wife Shonda's Gators. He's awesome, and he says, "Is Raheem a serious head coach? Is the attention to detail lacking? Does he want to be players' friends more than being a stern head coach?" You go first,
Fair
T.O.
question. That's a fair question. That is a fair question. Carlos says the predictable play
Wait, sorry,
calling
go
and
answer.
is glaring. Uh, Carlos says on the way up to Dallas in dismay. Yeah, man, I get it, bro. Hey, you just be safe out there,
Yeah,
Carlo.
stay safe. But
Larry's
yeah,
going to be joining us in a second, folks. So
okay,
I
cool.
can't
Well,
wait to
while
hear
we
what
wait
you.
for Larry, like, yeah, sorry, I messed up and I didn't finish the
You're
thought. Like
fine. Go
last
ahead.
season, we didn't have the defense to match the offense. Now we don't have the offense to match the defense. It's just crazy work. Like, how do we not have two things that match? It's wild to
And
me.
Carrie, it was the same thing. Eerily, it was the same thing in 2016 and 2017. So in 2016, our offense was 28th. Excuse me, our defense was 28th. Our offense was the eighth best all time, right? In 2017, when we had a new offensive coordinator who didn't necessarily know how to drive the car, we had the 10th best defense in the league. And so much of this is timing. And it's not just that for us. You know, it's look at there are going to be 31 teams this year that's going to be mad. Is what 32 teams? It's going to be 31 teams that go home disappointed. But the issue that I have is that good organizations have a synergy. Organizations that win have a synergy where you know, things come together that when you get the quarterback, when you get the draft picks, when you get that young team, you have the coach and coordinators to take them to the highest level. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Larry from the Dixon Way in the chat. Larry, how you doing this morning, man? All well?
I'm good.
Hey Larry,
Not
can you
well, but
hide the Carlo comment so we can see Larry? It's
Yep.
like covered him. Thank you.
I'm about, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to change the format. Give me 1 sec so we
Okay,
can see
cool.
Larry and see everybody.
they don't need to see me.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
do,
definitely
Larry.
do. Hey Larry.
Yeah, man. How you
Good
doing,
morning.
Larry?
It's a somber morning. As a Falcon fan, I had to think about it the whole evening and this morning. We've seen several instances that the lack of attention to detail has failed us and cost us games. Uh, I think the only redeeming quality about that game was special teams. They came to play. Yeah, thanks. I know. Uh, but yeah, overall, it seemed like we weren't ready to play for a team that was decimated with injuries like the San Francisco 49ers. They dominated us. At the line of scrimmage, they outcoached us. Um, when you have third down and short, when you have fourth down and short, and San Francisco had those same situations, and they quarterback sneaked it 3 times. What do? We line our quarterback 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and we take Bijan Robinson, who's probably the best offensive player in the league, and bring it out. Hold on, son. Hold on. And bring in Algier. So okay, so we finna go power. We finna go. You know what I'm saying? Under center, I formation. No.
Larry, you there? Larry, you there? Carrie, you there?
I'm here. He's probably trying to come back. We'll just wait
Probably
for
is.
him. But
Okay. All
I
right.
think the point he's gonna make is, yeah, coaching. Um, I'm eager to hear what he has to say. But to his point, yeah, I didn't like that play call either because 4th and 1, best player on the team, arguably Bijan Robinson. Many people think he could be MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. He's on the sideline. Don't like that. Fine. You bring in Tyler, who's more of like the powerhouse runner, bowling ball guy who could push through. That's fine. I feel like he's more the short yardage guy. Cool. You run the ball with Tyler. No, we don't. We line up in shotgun and we don't even run the ball like with Tyler. I truly don't get that because with Tyler coming in anyway because he was just limping 2 plays before that. He went down he took a hard hit and got shook. So I didn't even like that. Normally I would love Tyler there and short yardage situations, but he
Yeah.
was just limping like 2 plays before that. So, but yeah, sorry,
Sorry.
go ahead, Larry. No.
Yeah, sorry I had a phone call. I gotta get out quick anyway. But I just wanted to say, like, the attention to detail is what we need to understand. We know that I know we got a lot of people talking about Michael Penix on Twitter. I don't agree with. He does have things to work on. No, not yet, son. Not yet. We have a lot of people talking negatively about Michael Penix. He does need to improve, but I don't think our problems stem with Michael Penix offensively. I feel like our play caller is predictable, and we have to play perfect to make it look well. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a good
when
point.
when they give the explanation, like we run this way in the pistol because Bajan needs more time to have vision to make his cuts. That's asinine.
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky made several posts early before he kind of walked back on his point when he met the team and stuff like that. But his point still holds true about 3 weeks ago. When we live in the pistol like that, everyone knows what Michael Penix is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, you have the crowd that's saying it's not Walmart later, yes. It's not about deception, it's about execution. It's about both. Good teams know how to do both. You know what I'm saying? Case in point, when you have them basically running the ball every time, San Francisco, or they have Christian McCaffrey, you know, there to block and then go out in the flat. Attention to detail and stuff like that are things that we were missing. And not to have just 10 players on that 3rd and 13 is inexcusable.
That's inexcusable.
It's inexcusable. You know what I'm saying? And he's right. It don't matter how it happened. We'll get it right. But see, things like this, these are while we in week 7 having preseason mistakes.
That's true.
We didn't need preseason because we were good.
Yeah.
You see the pattern that's going on. I don't need a coach that wants to be homies with all the players. I need a coach that's going to be a real head coach. And if you're going to be a CEO, everything, I need you to make sure that everybody is on their P's and Q's. Period. Point blank. That's it.
That's true.
That's it. Point blank.
Good
and
point.
if you're a defensive coordinator, hold on, son. Hold on. If you're a defensive coordinator, I need you to be like, hey, if you don't agree with this, and if at the very least you got 2 eyes, count it. I didn't even notice in the stream, so I missed it too. But that's ridiculous. So I don't know, man. We're 3-3. We got Miami coming in. It's another must win.
Yes.
We can't keep going. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. We won't make the playoffs, and then there will be a house cleaning.
Agreed.
Larry, I have to ask you that because, you know, to that point, I agree with you. I think it's playoffs or bust, but, you know, I think it was Damsky. Somebody put on Twitter this morning that, hey, we have essentially a rookie quarterback with a rookie play caller, both making mistakes, but it's hard to succeed when you got those two together. We need, you know, an experienced play caller to coach up this rookie quarterback. I said, well, that's on Raheem because he hired 2 inexperienced play callers last year. One got fired last year, and if this inconsistency continues, then both the other coordinator, the OC, and Raheem will be fired. But everybody's not everybody, but I got a few replies saying that sorry, he's getting a 3rd year. We always give, you know, head coaches a 3rd year, Arthur Blank, and you know, basically that they think that he's gonna get more time, and I just don't know if that's true. Like, I know we usually do give 3 years, but I don't know if that this year that's it. I feel like it's playoffs or bust. What do you think?
You know what? I think Arthur Blank would give Raheem 3 years because just because he felt bad he didn't hire him the first time. That's why Raheem is here. I mean, let's just keep it a bean. Raheem is here because we escorted him out and went and got Arthur Smith because that was a hot new coordinator. That's what we did. So when you look at it from that lens, I feel like there is a chance that he'll come back. But again, I feel like Raheem Moore is trying to build his own coaching tree instead of, you know, you got to think about it.
Establish himself first.
Exactly. Instead of establishing a new culture, and with his second time around, he wanted to be the de facto, I'm doing everything. Okay, that's fine. And that's fine, you know what I'm saying? But you got to have veterans. And I will say this, Carrie, he didn't intend on playing Michael Penix right now. He didn't.
Right.
Remember, Kirk Cousins was his guy. He was there in Washington when Kirk Cousins took over. So Kirk Cousins is this guy. His plan was to let Kirk play for about 2, maybe 3 years, and then turn it over to Michael Penix. But now we're in a situation that we got a rookie coordinator or a second-year coordinator with a second-year/rookie on quarterback, and he's learned on the job. And we're playing Madden right now. You know, we want to be in the shotgun all the time, and never. We're playing Madden. We're playing Madden, and we're flipping. We're pressing triangle and L and R, and we're flipping the play. That's it, man.
It's
But
just
yeah, I'm
so
about to get out of
frustrating.
here, man.
Thank you,
Larry,
for coming
Larry,
on, man.
thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us
Appreciate
this morning.
Thank
Hey,
you guys. You guys have a great show. We're going to talk about this more at 5:30. We have a Falcon review. You guys are welcome to come by. You know what I'm saying? I just got to make sure. Streamlabs is kind of funny, so I got to figure out if it's working or not to put the camera up, because last time I tried, it wasn't working. But you guys are welcome to come on there too. We can continue the discussion. But
Thank you, Larry.
I got to roll.
thank you, Larry, for the invite.
You guys have a blessed rest of your day, and
You too.
rise up,
Thank you.
man.
Hey, Larry, tell these folks where they can find you. Larry, tell these folks where they can find you.
You can find us at the DixonWay.com. Well, hold on, son. Hold on. You can find us on YouTube at the Dixon Way. On YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Rumble, and X. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be on at 5:30 for the Falcons review. We'll go in there some more depth. All right. My son's trying to talk over y'all.
Okay.
Later.
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate
Bye,
it.
Larry. Have a good day.
Hey, Carrie, we got to get to some housekeeping. So James, what's it say? Wait. Is that James Obleton? James Obleton 6450 says, "Hello everyone. Why didn't the coaching staff key on McCaffrey? I think they kind of did. We just couldn't stop him, right? We could not stop him.
We don't have the run stop stuffers in the middle. They just kept running it down our throats. And I still think we need a nose tackle, but we don't have a big guy up front to stop him. And to be honest, he's one of the best backs in the league. So again, I'm not mad at the defense at all. We didn't have Walker, we didn't have Diablo. Defense did not lose us that game, period.
Agreed, Carrie, 100%. Carlos says the feeling us as fans have is like a recurring gnawing nerve pain. 100%.
Nice.
100%. Sorry.
I mean,
100%.
it's a roller coaster of emotions. This team, man, if they want to be good, if they want to be contenders, they got to learn to be consistent. And to me, that's on coaching. We're just not consistent, man. And it sucks because I saw us getting so much love. We never get love from the national media, but after that upset on Monday Night Football, I don't know if you saw it, T-Will, but we were getting a lot of love from the national media after beating the Bills. And I did see a few say, but is this an outlier? Because this team is so inconsistent. Look at the Panthers game. Now look at this Bills game. They said this 49ers game will be very telling. Let's see if they're really contenders or pretenders. And not that I think we're pretenders, but I do think we're right now we're not contenders with the way we're playing very inconsistent football.
I think right now we're not contenders with the way we're coaching and the way we're playing. Let me tell you something. You had a great point when you say we never have two things that match. Like, I'm gonna use that all day. But Dixon Way also had a great point with the attention to detail. The 12 guys on the field, the 10 guys on the field in that scenario, third down, it's going for that's inexcusable. Call a timeout there. That is
we didn't call a timeout at all. That's crazy.
That is on coaching. And look, you have to be better there. I can't excuse it. Craig says, I'm a big Pitts hater, but why did we not keep feeding Pitts? Because they couldn't cover him.
Coaching.
Yeah. Carlos says, Kyle said, oh, Bijan is the best bet. Hold my beer. Talking about CMC. Carlos says Kirk jumped up like his prayers were answered last night.
And to that point, I know we laugh, but to that point,
Go ahead.
I think we'll find out today, I believe, more information about Penix
And
and
his injury.
yes, and his
Yeah.
injury. He took some hits late in that game and did not
Mhm.
look good. Raheem did say post game that he checked to see if Penix needed to be pulled. He gave him a thumbs up. So, but he did not look good after those hits. I'm wondering if there's a possibility Hurt could be playing against Miami this week.
And it could be.
100%.
And because let me tell you something, that last throw that Penix made was he didn't have any legs underneath him. He did not have any legs. So that is a valid point, Carrie. And we could very well be in a situation where Kirk has to start against Miami. And if that's the case, I'm okay with that. I think Kirk's healthy now. And honestly, I think you'd see a good performance. So when they say Kirk is the best backup in the league, I believe that. I believe there are some teams right now that Kirk could start at quarterback. Look, everybody's not a quarterback in this league. Quarterbacks don't grow on trees.
Right.
And so yeah, I think Kirk would be a good choice.
To Carlos' point, yeah, we mentioned that earlier in the show. Like, if you can't depend on your kicker to make field goals, why is he even on the team? So to me,
Agreed.
we don't trust our kicker, and we still have a kicking problem, which I already said like last week when I saw the rankings of the kickers. He was ranked like in the bottom 5 because he's been so inconsistent. So, yeah, that's an issue for me. Why are you on the team? We can't even depend on you to make a kick. So,
Mm-hmm.
and he also said Mooney should have ran out of bounds to save that timeout, and that is so true. That's right before the half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had to call a timeout if he would have just ran out of bounds. I feel like he was trying to make the big play, or I don't know. But the awareness of that situation was lacking, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed. Well, hey, Carrie, this has been
Um,
fun. You got something else? Go ahead. What you got?
no, I was just gonna say, no, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Oh my
you're too
goodness.
young to have a
I
senior
promise
moment, Carrie.
I promise I had something to say.
You're too
Oh
young to have
man.
a senior moment now. Come
Oh
on.
my goodness.
No, I mean, look, it is disappointing. Um, but hey, we press on. We got to move forward. Um, we got to move forward. You know what I mean? It's. I don't want to say it's a bad loss, but it's not a good one. It's not a good one in the way that we executed. If you execute and there's 11 men on the field and you rush the quarterback like you should have on third down or whatever, and you send the house at them and they still complete the pass, then so be it. It was just meant to be. They beat you, okay? But they didn't beat us last night so much as we beat ourselves. We were in that game up to the fourth quarter, and typically it's like a heavyweight knockout fight. The fighter who commits the first mistake is usually going to lose, all things being equal, and these teams were equal. Okay. And that bared out in the game. What happened? Well, we faltered when they didn't. We couldn't finish when they didn't. Our plays were predictable as the game went on. We couldn't adjust. Good coaching, good standards, attention to detail will win 99.9% of the time. And that's what bared out here. Now, again, we are fortunate. We are 3-3. Okay. We've got 11 games to go. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. This team is perfectly capable of winning at least 8 more games, but we got to fix what our issues are now. So, Craig says, let me see. Craig says, nobody would look good after getting beat like that. He was rattled.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say,
Okay.
actually.
Okay. What you got?
Is it weird to you that anytime Mooney's on the field, like it's like Drake doesn't exist? When Mooney doesn't play, I'm noticing a trend, honestly. Drake has these huge games. But
Mm-hmm.
then yesterday, it's like he wasn't even there because once Mooney's there, it's kind of weird to me.
I think they were bracketing Drake to a certain extent. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it, to be honest with you. But I feel like they may have been at times bracketing or double teaming Drake,
I feel like we didn't even move Drake around.
and maybe we didn't. And
That's
maybe we
what I
didn't.
feel like,
Maybe
and
we did
it's
not.
just weird to me how I've noticed that if Drake and Mooney are playing, it's like, Drake had a really great game last week, and then for some reason you got your wide receiver 2 back, and not that he did anything crazy good, but then it's like Drake, he's very quiet. I don't know,
Mm,
very weird to me, but
mm. Well, hey, you know what, Carrie? Look, we can certainly talk about this Thursday as we prepare for Miami. And let's flush it out of our system. It's a loss. It happens. Probably shouldn't have happened in that way. I'm not so mad that we lost. It's the way we lost.
no, yeah,
Right.
100%. That's what I said
It's the
earlier.
way we
Like,
lost.
I can
Right.
take a loss if we're outcoached and outperformed on the field, but I feel like that was a very winnable game against a depleted defense. Like I said, can you even name any players on their defense with the Fred Warner and Nick Bosa being out? Not name Michael Williams. I mean, it's a very young defense.
Yeah.
And we only scored 10 points against them. We've scored 13 points in the last 6 quarters of football. I feel like that's just unacceptable.
Well, you can't be predictable. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you cannot be predictable. And hey, you gotta learn from your mistakes. But this is the big leagues. This is the NFL. We do not have a whole lot of time to cry in our beer. We got to get ready for Miami next week. And so, hey, man, we're going to do just that. I know myself and Carrie will be back Thursday morning to, again, maybe recap this just a little bit, get the taste out of our system, and move forward and move on to Miami. And hopefully a victory. We will be playing at home. And so, hey, man, let's do
That's
that.
hopefully a victory. No, that needs to be a victory.
Agreed.
That's a
I,
that's a terrible team right now. There's no reason we don't win that game, especially at home. It should, to be honest, T-Will, that should be a blowout.
It should be. You know what'd be interesting? You know what'd be interesting, right? If they fire the head coach of Miami.
Oh, well, before you get started on that, they've already came out today, actually, Ian Rappaport, and said that they're making no changes this week, which I'm so happy about because,
Damn.
I'm a big soccer fan, and we call that managers are what they call head coaches there, and that's called the new manager bounce. So I was nervous if I thought after yesterday's game, you got blown out by the Browns. I thought there's a real chance Mike McDaniel could be fired today.
I'd love to
But
bring him
today,
on as an analyst or
yeah,
as a what consultant
I'd
with
love
Zach
to bring him
Robinson.
in as an OC, but that's a
Well,
different story.
so, so here's the thing, right? But it probably wouldn't hurt to have him as a consultant because then he could kind of, I don't know, he could Obi-Wan Zach Robinson, right? He could be, isn't he from the same tree? Is he from the same tree, Gary?
Yeah, and he was on our 2016 coaching staff.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd love to have him on as a consultant.
But,
So maybe
but
if we
yeah,
beat them next week, that can happen, and
yeah,
they
maybe
can,
next week he'll be let go, but
yeah.
I'm just happy though this week it's not happening because you know how that goes. A new guy comes in, new voice in the room, new leader. They usually, new manager bounce. They kind of play a little better and look better and get a shocking win the first week with the new guy in charge. So I'm just so
Well,
glad they're not making the change this week.
I don't think the Falcons would hire him as an OC, and I don't think he would have that sort of impact right away. I think he would just be a consultant for Zach Robinson to go to say, hey, I'm having issues with this. What would you do here? What are you seeing here? What are you
Oh,
whatever?
sure, yeah.
Just
No,
kind of that support. Um, because right now we need it. We got Franchise 21 in the chat. He says, "What's good, y'all? Rise up. What's
hey,
good,
how you doing?
Franchise? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show." Um, Craig says we rely on Bijan to be otherworldly to score points, and we kind of do. But look, he's Bijan. But to Craig's point, you should be in a system where you can scheme other folks open, and we got to score points. And that's just, the bottom line, which I think is what he's saying. Anyway, Miss Carrie, I want to thank you for joining me this morning and helping myself and those of us in the chat to kind of exercise some of those post-game residual bad feelings. I know some of them are still there, but as we work on it and woo-saw and do our breathing exercises, hopefully we will be better throughout the week. Miss Carrie, tell these folks where they can find you.
You can find me on the Terry and Carrie show once a week, as well as One Time for the Fan when Jack is not doing yard work. He's been MIA, so I think business might be booming right now.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And yeah, you can find me on Twitter as well at Carrie Lynn XOX. So thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it. This has been a great therapy session for us Falcons fans. Let's just hope that our Falcons can be more consistent, because otherwise it's going to be a long season. And I'm sorry, but unless we learn to be consistent, we're not making the playoffs. You can't do this where you have one really good performance, one bad, up and down. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. Well, you said something. And I tend to agree. You said this offense does not play well on the road. And we are really seeing that. Because if this game were at home, I feel like Falcons win this game. I don't know why, but I just feel like if this game were in the bins, Falcons win that game. And that, unfortunately, is a trait of younger teams that play well at home and get hyped up at home, but kind of lose it a little bit on the road. So we got to figure it out, man. We definitely got to figure it out. But again, as always, Carrie, thank you to everyone who joined us in the chat. I cannot thank you guys enough. We appreciate it. This was a good therapy session for us. I hope it was a great therapy session for you. And to those of you who are new to the show, please feel free to come back. Look, like, share, and subscribe if you are so inclined. If you enjoyed the show, then hey, please feel free to come back. Tell your friends, tell your buds, give us a shout, give us a comment, tell us what we did well, tell us what we didn't do well. Either way, we'll read it. And we love the dialogue. We love the participation. We love the interaction. But most importantly, we love interacting with you. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, and you chose to be with us, so we appreciate it. Y'all are going in on Jack, man. Y'all are going in on Jack.
Are they really?
Craig says Jack out here putting air in my tires and washing my windshield.
Oh, no, I opened a can of worms.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Smooth C says, Jack, hurry up and clean out my gutters. Oh, Lord. Y'all are going in on poor Jack. But anyway, guys, hey, I want to thank God for sending me all of you guys in my path this morning and just in life. I appreciate sharing this time with you and fellowshipping and talking Falcons and just having the opportunity to do it. And you guys giving me the opportunity to do so. Really thank each and every one of you. Miss Carrie, thank you for joining me on this podcast. And again, I thank God so much for sending you in my path. Miss Carrie is the greatest producer in the business, 100%. I dare you to find a better one. And last but not least, hey, to Mr. Jack Spade and Eric Parker, thank you for giving me my shot in this business. Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. You guys have an amazing day and an amazing week, and we will see you Thursday. Rise up, everybody.
Have a good day, everyone.
Let me tell you something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Turning up the heat, Team Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play, bringing the thunder every single day. He